you didn't get a chance to watch the Yankees and Guardians face off on Wednesday night, probably consider yourself lucky. This kind of was a gross game. It's a 4-0 victory for Cleveland. The series is now 1-1, but just a gross game overall. The Yankees offense never really got out of neutral at any point in this game. Cleveland kind of had control throughout. They end up getting 4 runs on 12 hits, but they start off strong. They get 3 runs off of Clark Schmidt in the first inning, including a 2-run home. Starts the game with a walk and a 2-run home run. Scheming, ends up getting an RBI double later in that inning, and then in the top of the 8th, Kyle Manzardo takes Fernando Cruz deep for the final run of the game. But it was just kind of gross. That's the only word I can really use to describe it. Clark Schmidt's final line doesn't look so terrible. 5 2/3, 7 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, 3 earned runs, with all 3 of them coming in the first inning. But the Yankees were just never able to overcome the slow start because they were really never able to do much in any of these in any of these innings, really. I'm taking a look here, and my suspicion, and what I'm looking up here, is that the Yankees never, they only had 5 hits in the game, but I don't think they ever had multiple hits in an inning. And as I'm kind of going through here, there's a case where they had like a walk and a hit or things of that nature, but the Yankees did not have multiple hits in an inning until the 9th inning, which was a Ben Rice single, then eventually a Cody Bellinger double after a Judge strikeout, which left the Yankees with second and third, 1 out, and still down 4, but Goldschmidt strikes out looking, Jazz strikes out swinging, and that was it for the game. Just a lackluster effort across the board. A bad start to the game for Schmidt, and then just an offense that never really got out of it. The Yankees had 5 total hits, all of them coming from the 2-3-4 spot. 2 hits for Ben Rice, 2 hits for Aaron Judge. That 9th inning double I just mentioned for Cody Bellinger, and that's it. That is the grand total of what happened this game. They drew 3 walks. Goldschmidt got 1. Trent Grisham got a couple, but this wasn't a team that was on base a lot. They struck out 10 times. Just a poor game across the board. And, Luis Ortiz on the other side, hasn't been particularly strong lately, but looked pretty dominant in this game. And, there's not really a ton to take away. The Yankees just looked out of sync. And I think if you look at 2 strikeouts in particular that I thought were interesting, was one from Judge where he takes a fastball. I think he was either anticipating a breaking ball or anticipating a cut fastball. Takes a fastball right down the middle of the plate for strike 3. And then you look at Goldschmidt with a little bit more understandably takes one of the Emmanuel Clase's cutters, again, right down the middle of the plate. So we saw that a couple times tonight where the Yankees were struck out looking on meatballs, quite frankly. Now, again, I'm not calling it the first one, the Ortiz one to Judge was a meatball. I'm not calling a 102-mile-an-hour fastball a meatball by any means. I don't care where you put it. But, Volpe had a couple ones, in this game where he was given great pitches to hit that got fouled off. It was just not a good night offensively. I thought, Judge gets a couple hits. Ben Rice, got a couple hits and also, had some hard outs in this game as well. So, he's still hitting the ball really hard. But really just overall a disappointing effort. And there's really not a ton to break down here. Clark Schmidt, his cutter wasn't cutting a lot. Kind of the same issue he had in Colorado, although obviously the environment's more understandable for that issue popping up in Colorado than it is in the Bronx. But so he left a lot over the middle of the plate, particularly early in this game, but did bounce back. But the Yankees were just kind of scattering hits everywhere. Hedrick comes in, 1 1/3, 1 hit, no earned runs. Fernando Cruz goes an inning, gives up 2 hits, including that home run, but strikes out 3. And then Tim Hill gives up 2 hits in a scoreless 9th for himself. But it just wasn't. This was a team effort for a loss. And that's why I don't really have a lot to break down here, because you can yell all you want about Clark Schmidt's first inning, which was bad, and he deserves to be criticized for that start to the game. But the Yankees offense never felt like they were going to be in it, and it doesn't matter how many. You're not going to win any games given or scoring 0 runs. So let's flush this one. You have Max Fried. We'll keep this one brief. You have Max Fried on the mound later today to try to win this series. 7:05 start time. Slade Cecconi versus Max Fried, which again looks like a significant starting pitching mismatch here. Cecconi's coming off of a rough start on the last day of May against the Angels, in which he allowed 3 home runs and 5 total earned runs over 4 1/3 inning. But his first 2 starts of the season were a little bit better. May 17th against Cincinnati, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, and then against Detroit, 6 innings, 1 run. So we'll see, but it's still definitely a mismatch in the Yankees' favor, particularly with just the way Max Fried has been pitching so far this year. But this is one of those ones where just want to see a bounce-back effort. Obviously, you want to win as many games as possible, and there's no must-win games. It's June the 5th, but this is an effort where I just did not. This game was just, I'll say it again, it was just gross. There was really nothing to write home about, nothing to get excited about in this game. It was never far enough out of reach to ever feel like you wanted to turn it off, but you weren't exactly enjoying the viewing experience. But let's hope that they bounce back here later today. Max Fried can get back on track, obviously, after having his worst start of the season, against the Dodgers in his last outing. But he's been absolutely sensational otherwise. So I think we're going to get a pretty good effort from him once again. And hopefully the Yankees can get back on track with a win, and we will break it all down on the Bombers Beat podcast.